continue learning about the fundamental unit of life. In my previous video, we have discussed about the cell wall, we have discussed about the cytoplasm and the organelles, and we have also discussed about the two important organelles, the nucleus and the endoplasmic reticulum. We have discussed how is the structure and also their function. Today in this video we shall continue learning about the organelles. We shall study about the lysosomes, the Golgi apparatus. We shall study about the plastids, mitochondria and their function and structures. So first we will start up with the lysosomes. Now we will discuss about the lysosomes. The term lysosomes was derived from the Greek word the lysis, which means a destruction, and the soma, which means the body. These lysosomes, they are a kind of a waste disposal system of the cell. It occurs in animal cell. A foreign materials which enter the cell, such as a bacteria or a food, as well as the old organelles, end up in the lysosomes, which break them into a small pieces. You can see the lysosome here. This is because they contain a powerful digestive enzymes and capable of breaking down all the organic matter. So lysosomes, they are the membrane-bound sacs filled with the digestive enzymes. Some important enzymes include lipase that digests the lipids, protease that digests the proteins, the nuclease that digests the nucleic acids. So this is about the lysosomes. The functions of the lysosomes. The main functions of the lysosomes, it include that the lysosomes help to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. It helps to digest the foreign bacteria that invade the cell. It also digests the macromolecules by engulfing the solid particles and absorb the molecules from the outer side of the cell. It serves as an intracellular digestive system and hence it is called as a digestive bags. So this is about the lysosomes. The next one we have is an Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is also known as a Golgi bodies or a Golgi complex, or it is also known as an dictyosomes. It was identified by an Italian physician, the Camillo Golgi. It is a complex protoplasmic structure with a flat intercommunicating cisternae, a network of tubules with vesicle and vacuoles. So the main function of the Golgi apparatus is it helps in secretion. The secretory products of the Golgi bodies include the sweat, tears, the mucus, digestive secretions, saliva, slime and wax. It helps in the transport of lipids, it helps in the production of lysosomes, and it helps in the production of hormones too. Its function include the storage, the modification and packaging of products in vesicles. So this is about the Golgi apparatus. The next one we have is in mitochondria. So mitochondria, they are the membrane-bound organelles. They are known as the powerhouse of the cells because the energy required for the various chemical activities needed for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. The body uses the energy stored in ATP for making new chemicals for mechanical work. The mitochondria consists of two double membrane. It is made up of two membranes. One is an outer membrane and other one is an inner membrane. The outer membrane is very porous while the inner membrane is thrown inside into many folds like projections called as a cristae. Okay, you can see the double membrane. Outer membrane is smooth, whereas the inner membrane is thrown inwards into many projections. Okay, they are fold up, and they are called as a cristae. Inside the membrane, there is a space enclosed by a membrane which we call as a matrix. The mitochondria are the strange organelles. in the sense that they have their own DNA and the ribosomes. Therefore, the mitochondria are able to make some of their own protein. The next organelle we have is the plastids. The plastids are present in all living plant cells and in euglena, but are absent in all the cells of animals, fungi, and bacteria. They are small bodies found free in the cytoplasm. They are often more or less spherical or disc shaped. All the plastids, they contain a small genome, that is the DNA. They are self-replicating organelles which have the ability to synthesize the proteins. They perform most of the biological activities such as synthesis of food, storage of carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Types of plastids. Based on the structure, pigment, and functions, the plastids are classified into three types. They are the leucoplast, which are the colorless plastids, the chromoplast, the colored plastids except the green, and the chloroplast, they are the green colored plastids. First, we'll discuss about the leucoplast. The term leucoplast is derived from the Greek word leuko, which means a white, and plasta means living. So, they are the colorless plastids. The main function of the leucoplast is to store the carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. The next plastids we have is an achromoplast. It is derived from the Greek word. The chromoplast is a word which is derived from the Greek word where chroma means color and plasta means meaning, living. They impart a color to the certain parts of the plant such as flower, fruits, and some parts of roots. Okay, the chromoplasts, they are the colored plastids which contain the carotenoid and other pigments, and they impart the color to certain parts of plants such as flower petals, fruits, and some roots. The third one and the most important one we have is in the chloroplast. The term the chloroplast is derived from the Greek word chloros, which means green, and plast, which means a form. It occurs in all plant cells and in eukaryotic algae. It helps to absorb the sunlight and uses water, carbon dioxide to produce the sugars. Since they are involved in the photosynthesis, these are called as kitchens of the cells. The chloroplasts are flat disc and they have a double membrane envelope called as outer membrane and inner membrane. Each chloroplast has two distinct regions. One is the stoma and the other one is the grana. The homogeneous fluid or a matrix inside the chloroplast, we call it as a stoma. Here is the structure of a chloroplast. You can see the double membrane structures. You can also see the stoma there and also the grana. Some of the important functions of the plastids will be the leucoplasts. They help to store the food in the form of fats, lipids, proteins, and starch. The chromoplasts, they impart color to various parts of the plant, attract the insects for pollination, and the chloroplasts, they trap the solar energy to prepare the food for the plant. The next important organelle we have is a vacuole. The vacuoles are the storage sacs or for solid and liquid contents. These are small sized and temporary in the animal cell. You can see this is an animal cell and you can see the vacuole here. It is a small sized and temporary. When it comes, this is a plant cell, and in plant cell it is large and distinct and permanent in plant cells. Okay, here in the plants the vacuole is large, it is distinct, and it is permanent. The central vacuole of some plant cells may occupy about 50 to 90% of cell volume. In plant cell, the vacuoles are full of cell sap. Cell sap means it is a watery solution rich in sugars, amino acids, minerals, proteins, and metabolic waste. And they provide the turgidity and rigidity to the cell. Many substances of the importance to life of the plant cells are stored in the vacuoles. They include the amino acids, the sugars, the various organic acids, and some proteins. In single cell organisms like that of amoeba, the food vacuole contains the food items that amoeba has consumed. And in some other unicellular organisms, the specialized vacuoles play an important roles in expelling the excess of water and some waste from the cell. The vacuole is bounded by a membrane which we call it as a tonoplast, and it occupies the central position of the cell and so pushes the nucleus and other organelles near the boundary wall. Some of the important functions of vacuoles will be: it helps to maintain the osmotic pressure in the cell, it provides the turgidity and rigidity to the cells. So by seeing all these things, we can conclude that the cell acquires its structure and ability to function because of its organization and its membrane and organelles in a specific ways. The cell thus have a basic structural organization, and this helps the cell to perform the functions like respiration, obtaining the nutrition, clearing of waste material, forming a new proteins. Hence, a cell is a fundamental structural unit of living organisms, and it is also a basic functional unit of a life. So by this, I would like to conclude the first chapter, the fundamental unit of life. Hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you.